Halo 4 launched with the most expensive sound design of the franchise, and fans barely noticed. Today, we're diving into Halo 4, what it did right, where it fell flat, and why time may have changed more than just our memories. Now, if you had to save one thing from Halo 4 forever, just one mechanic or a moment, cutscene, what would it be? Drop it in the comments. The Bungie Shadow. Bungie left. 343 inherited a galaxy and a fan base with expectations. They couldn't copy-paste the past, so they aimed higher, deeper, and riskier. And the result? A game that felt like Halo, but also like something else. The armor was familiar, but the soul felt uncertain. Innovation always walks a tightrope over nostalgia. They tried to evolve, but we weren't ready to let go. A new tone for a new era. Master Chief wasn't just a soldier anymore. He was a symbol breaking down. Halo 4 was darker, quieter, more introspective. The cinematics felt like film, the story asked harder questions, and fewer fans knew how to answer them. Not everyone came for emotion, but those who stayed, they felt it. Shifting tone can alienate, but it can also elevate. Halo got personal, and some players couldn't handle it. Visual leap. Halo 4 had the best graphics on the Xbox 360 and the most divisive art style. It was technically stunning, dynamic lighting, high poly models, filmic cutscenes, but it looked foreign. Sleek Forerunner tech replaced chunky, familiar designs. Chief's armor felt over-designed, not iconic. Art isn't just about pixels, it's about personality. It looked sharper, but it felt less like Halo. Cortana's fragility. Cortana wasn't just glitching, she was dying. Rampancy turned her into a ticking time bomb of sorrow and brilliance. Her deterioration wasn't just a dramatic subplot, it was Halo 4's emotional backbone. Watching her slip between genius and desperation hit harder than any plasma grenade. Emotional stakes elevate sci-fi from spectacle to story. Halo 4 made an AI more human than most protagonists. The Promethean problem. What happens when enemies look cooler but feel awful to fight? The Prometheans were sleek, eerie, and technologically fascinating, but lacked the depth and behavioral nuance of the Covenant. Their teleporting, bullet-sprongy design frustrated players and disrupted Halo's signature sandbox flow. Great enemy design requires gameplay synergy, not just artistic novelty. They looked menacing, but played like mannequins. Multiplayer identity crisis. Halo 4 wanted to be Halo, and Call of Duty. Loadouts, sprinting, perks, and ordnance drops replaced map control and weapon spawn. It was a fundamental shift from arena combat to class-based customization. Veterans felt betrayed, newcomers were unsure where Halo's soul had gone. It gained features but lost its identity. Innovation is good, but foundation matters more. Forge and Theater. Even when the multiplayer fell off, Forge kept players coming back. The editing tools were powerful, letting fans build racetracks, puzzle maps, and entire custom game modes. Theater mode let moments live forever. Sniper flicks, betrayal fails, warthog chaos. Give players creative freedom and they'll build a community. Halo 4's sandbox survived because the fans kept shaping it. The Forgotten Soundtrack. The music in Halo 4 was beautiful, and almost no one remembers it. The music brought moody, cinematic ambiance to the series. But with no bombastic riffs or chants, it felt like a different universe. Some fans praised the sophistication, others missed the soul. Technically rich, emotionally hollow. Legacy franchises need sonic signatures, not just competent scores. Mid-game story twist. You're chasing a galactic threat, and suddenly you're decoding Forerunner philosophy mid-mission. The Didax reveal was ambitious, teasing cosmic states and ancient grudges. But the execution, cluttered exposition, unclear motives, and a finale that fizzled. Big threat, small payoff. Epic lore only lands when it's told with clarity and care. The Master Chief reimagined. He's more machine now than man, but in Halo 4, that changed. Chief wasn't just a vessel of steel, he was grieving, reflecting, doubting. For the first time, his voice cracked. He didn't save the galaxy out of duty, but to save her. Letting legends feel pain makes them real. The most iconic hero gained depth, not just upgrades. Spartan Ops. What if Halo had weekly TV-style episodes, but forgot to stay interesting? Spartan Ops aimed to replace Firefight with an evolving co-op story mode. It launched with slick cutscenes and cliffhangers, but recycled missions, forgettable enemies, and bland dialogue drained the excitement. Bold idea, boring execution. Serialized content dies fast without substance. Campaign level design. Halo 4's campaign had more visual variety but less gameplay depth. Earlier titles gave you open spaces, vehicle options, and layered encounters. Halo 4 leaned on corridors, scripted sequences, and tighter choke points. Level design isn't just structure, it's strategy. Flashing settings, fewer choices. The return of humanity. If you want a super soldier to matter, show how he's saving. Halo 4 brought humanity back into focus. UNSC crews, scientists, and innocent lives were front and center again. You weren't just saving Earth, you were saving people. Saving the galaxy means more when the cost feels personal. Grounding grand stories in human consequences builds lasting emotional weight. The armor customization. Remember unlocking Recon in Halo 3? Halo 4 made that grind feel shallow. With dozens of armor permutations, shaders, and visors, customization looked impressive, but many pieces were locked behind arbitrary challenges or uninspiring ranks. More options, but less meaning. Customization shines brightest when it reflects the player's identity, not just progress. Fan reception. In 2012, Halo 4 split the fanbase. In 2025, it's being reevaluated. At launch, hardcore fans bristled at its tone and systems, yet many younger players cite it as their first Halo and personal favorite. Nostalgia has started to soften old critiques. Time can heal or reframe almost any game. Sometimes, the audience just needs to grow into the art. The burden of legacy. You don't want to be the band after the Beatles. 343 didn't just make a game, they made the first non-Bungie Halo. That shadow warped every design choice, every narrative beat. The comparison was inevitable, and sometimes unfair. Flawed debut, vital evolution. Respect legacy, but don't be imprisoned by it. Seeds of the Reclaimer saga. Halo 4 wasn't the end, it was the prologue to something bigger. The Reclaimer saga introduced the concept of a deeper Forerunner mythos, a fractured galactic balance, and Master Chief's evolving identity. While later titles stumbled, the groundwork laid in Halo 4 was ambitious. Every saga starts somewhere, even if the sequel fumbles. Bold first steps don't guarantee success, but they do make it possible. Was Halo 4 better than you remember? Maybe it wasn't better, maybe you just see it differently now. Stripped of expectations and hindsight heat, Halo 4 becomes a curious, human story wrapped in sci-fi skin. A game trying to grow up before its fanbase was ready. Polarizing then, somewhat compelling now. Revisit art you once dismissed. You might meet a new version of yourself. So, was Halo 4 better than we gave it credit for? Maybe not objectively, but it tried things no Halo game had dared before. Emotional depth, cinematic design, and a humanized Chief. That risk wasn't always rewarding, but it was worth remembering.